This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. This week on a new TV Tuners, Keelrain and Swanson hang out with some gators.
Swanson, don't put your mouth in there.
I think they like us.
Chomp!
Ugh.
And 3 versions of Stairmaster are on the screen at one time.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Which one do I shoot, Swanson?
All.
No, no,
Okay.
no!
It's an epic crossover event on this week's TV Tuners.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics.
That's right.
It's a dive into the latest in TV news and reviews.
Not
I'm
this
your host,
week.
Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and looming threat of the ongoing virus, Stairmaster.
I don't know. Hey, nice ace receptors you have there. Can I hold them? Can I attach to them?
No.
Thanks. I'll be here all week. But
And with us, as always, of course, is our other president and
what?
is our other
Go on.
co-host and President Byron Keelrain.
Let's go, Byron.
Hello, I'm the president. I'm here in the office. I've got my Glock pistol, and there's going to be 3 men who are going to enter the room, and only one is going to leave after my trial.
Oh dear.
Dang. Very serious.
I got elected for a reason, folks.
Yeah. Well, these nondescript titles that sum up perhaps a year could only best describe what is happening this week, which is that it's our 2021 retrospective.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, it's that time of year where we go through all of the shows we watched and we determine the worst and best of 2021 in TV. A lot of great. We've done this, believe it or not.
For too long.
Yes, believe it or not, this is our 4th go through of this whole deal.
Kill me now.
All right, hold on. Let me get MS Paint open here.
What are you gonna tally it?
I'm gonna write down all the shows in MS Paint.
Okay.
Oh, do you want me to go
That'll be
through the
helpful.
list? Is that what you're saying, Keo?
As we're going through the show, I'm gonna just be drawing.
Oh, okay, and then we're gonna put this on the Twitter?
Of course, because it's going to be very legible. when I'm
Okay.
done with it.
Yeah, as everything on MS Paint is. So
What color should I use? I'm going to use light green.
yeah, use your discretion on that, Keo. You're the artist here.
Well, first I would fill it with red if you're gonna use green text.
Oh, it's going to be like
Christmas?
Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'tis the season.
Okay.
I do want to issue a correction. I noticed I went back and listened to last year's retrospective, and I noticed
correction, Swanson. Are we spreading dangerous misinformation on the podcast?
I did
again?
in that episode. As everyone knows, 2020 best TV show of the year, according to TV Tuners, The Boys.
Yes.
The Boys!
I incorrectly
True.
stated that was the second time The Boys had won. False.
Well, we were wrong. We robbed the boys.
In 2019, Chernobyl won best show of the year, not The Boys.
Yeah,
It
I
was-
don't know what I was thinking. Sorry, fellas.
It was a close contest. I actually picked Chernobyl as well. Also, I think I would agree. Probably still the best show that year.
I don't know. I bet if we rewatched it,
I don't think it's aged any worse.
it wouldn't hold up.
Well, it wouldn't hold up for me because I didn't like it in the first place.
But
you didn't like all those guys getting sunburned.
No, I didn't like that. I was like, wow, this show is just like not pleasant for me. It's not putting me in a good headspace. I'm logging out.
Yeah. I guess if you like a show that puts you in a better headspace, The Boys is the obvious pick. But I think for 2019, the atmosphere of that year, Chernobyl works best. Looking back, especially. No show has won the coveted twice in a row, or twice at all. And it won't this year because none of the shows that have won best were on this year. No Better Call Saul, no The Boys. Thankfully, there's been no sequel to Chernobyl.
Well, we're living in one.
Yeah? This is nuclear? That's what COVID
in a
is?
sense. I mean, the way the government's responding to it.
I don't see that.
I mean,
you didn't watch the show.
More people have died, that's for sure.
That is also true. But I mean, we're seeing what the cost of lies is.
I guess that's true. If you want, if you want to talk about the themes of Chernobyl, sure, I guess that is prevalent throughout the year. Anyway, welcome to TV Tuners for another week. It's the end of the year. We're saying goodbye to 2021 and hello 2022.
Well, what horrors do you have for us?
Yeah, both in the TV landscape and out of it. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but for now, if you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, otherwise, well, the best place to send those are to our email address. That's right, we have an email, and if you send any of that to us, well, we might just read it here on the pod. That email is tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kioran?
It's like something TV at Hotmail?
That's right. You can be like Geo, who sent us this email. You're out of order.
Oh?
Y'all think a prosecuting attorney was like, so you were smoking weed? And the witness was like, I wasn't smoking weed, boy. And then the judge shot him a look because there was evidence the witness were smoking weed. But then the witness says, I was smoking that kush. And then the judge nods and high fives him. Like, you guys think that ever happened?
No, I think. What if I feel like the judge is like up on his little high chair. You want to be able to reach down.
Yeah. I also don't think it's happened because judges are lame.
A judge can vault over the counter and just high five whoever he wants whenever he wants.
It says court.
That is in the book. Yeah, they can do that anytime. The only not lame judge was that judge from Night Court, and he would high five you if you said that.
Well, if I became a judge, I would have a no high fives policy in the courtroom. I think that's disrespectful to the court.
I would insist on wearing one of those wigs that the British judges do wear.
Yeah. Would you high five someone if they said this line?
No!
I was smoking that kush?
I'd be like, ha, good show, old chap.
Guilty.
I feel like, sadly, Gio, most judges would not high five anybody for any reason, except maybe a police officer or like like a white person who shot some people.
Pretty much.
Those would probably be the only two situations I could think of.
Maybe Bill Cosby.
Don't they give high fives to like guilty people, like just to congratulate them that they're going to be going to prison and stuff?
No, I don't think that's what a high five is for.
Seems like that. I think that's like the purpose of a low five.
It's like a they do a low five.
Yeah,
correct. Sort of like giving the thumbs down at the Gladiator.
I was thinking like a derisive, sarcastic high five for the convict.
There's nothing sarcastic about judges. They're all very literal.
That's true. I'll be honest here, because sarcasm doesn't really translate well in the courtroom.
No, especially because it's all being like just written down with no tone of voice being added in.
Yeah, they don't use mood tags in court transcripts.
The stenographer has to write /S at the end of the line for the judge.
So once again, Gio has ended an email with a question here, which means that I've gotten 3 responses that I can just automatically generate to him.
Okay.
The first one is, yeah, period. The second one is, yes! And the last one is, I don't think so.
Well, that's what we said on the show.
It's true. I don't think so, Tim.
I suppose you would have to pick that one.
All right.
Speaking of automatic responses for things, on my cell phone, I got a Merry Christmas message.
Aww.
And the three responses I had available for my mom were, sure, happy birthday,
Okay. Uh-huh.
and thank you.
Well, one of those is the appropriate response, maybe with an added Merry Christmas to you as well, or something like that. The middle one is, I think, the most interesting, because you could put a happy birthday and then type Jesus after.
You could. It's just curious that the tweet, why am I thinking of tweet? The message was Merry Christmas and then 2 Christmas tree emojis. And one of the responses was happy birthday.
You know, it is someone's birthday, allegedly.
Mm.
True. Oh, maybe it's anticipating a message from Christ himself.
Oh,
Oh.
that's a big leap. On your phone's behalf, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technology is getting more advanced every day, Stairmaster.
They could soon contact the god.
Oh, God.
This is what they've wanted all this time. They've wanted to be able to phone God.
Oh, my God. We figured out how to contact God, but we have to use the auto-generated messages.
It's the only way
It's
we
like,
can
hey,
talk to him.
what's up? And no way. and by accident, they click the no way one.
And he never responds again.
He never responds again, or there's like a plague or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what,
That's what happened.
yeah. Well, Keo, the reason you were thinking about tweets, of course, is that we're on Twitter.com.
Maybe too much.
Perhaps. That's where you can find the podcast. It's at TV Tuners. It's full of great TV content. And every now and again, we look through there. We try to find a tweet of the week. And Stairmaster, you've got one for us. A big one to end 2021 out on, right?
Yes. I think we'll all love this one.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So this tweet comes from @Campasa, who writes, "Can't stop thinking about how apparently back in 2011, archaeologists found an ancient, probably transgender/third gender burial in the Czech Republic, and Americans didn't know how to cover the story, so they ran this." And there's a little screenshot of the news, ABC News, and it says, "Gay caveman?" And there's a silhouette of a guy holding a bone in front of a rainbow flag next to a map of the Czech Republic.
Check.
Czech.
Stairs invented a new way to say it. So...
it's not a question like Stairmaster posed it. It's just gay caveman. It's not like
it's not gay caveman. It's they're definitively saying caveman. This is a gay caveman. Amazing.
This is ABC News.
Yeah. I think the most amazing part is that were this event to transpire now, I'm not sure it would be any different on the media's behalf. I guess now maybe they would say transgender caveman.
They would say tranny caveman.
I don't
on Fox News at least.
Well, yes, maybe on OAN.
Would they have a sexualized silhouette over a trans flag or something?
Yeah.
I wonder what a gay caveman would look like.
Probably like a regular caveman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to explore the space with me?
I would guess he'd look pretty similar to a regular caveman. He would just fuck other cavemen.
I think he would smell nicer than the other cavemen.
Yeah. This,
How would he pull that off?
This is the caveman that invented perfume.
Yes, he's like... Yeah, he just notices some flowers and just instinctually grounds them into dust and rubs them over himself.
Yeah, that's good.
You see, it's a monolith from 2001, and he invents furniture. I don't...
Yeah, exactly.
I thought we were going to have more bits for this, sorry.
Is that part of his appearance?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. It is good to know that all the way in the Czech Republic, they had gay cavemen.
Yeah, they were like proud members of the LGBT community.
Up until the 1930s for some reason.
They had flags and everything.
It's true, yeah. Do you think the caveman would have made a flag, Star?
I think the gay caveman invented flags.
Oh.
Oh, it can have this little thing to wave around. It's got this nice little pattern on it. Yeah.
Yeah. All the other cavemen were like, I'm busy with this rock. I'm busy trying to figure out fire over here, my dude.
And the caveman in this picture has one bone.
Yeah.
I think the gay caveman would learn how to dual wield the bones. So double his DPS.
Not the bisexual caveman, the gay caveman.
No.
Well, I guess the media wouldn't know what bisexual people
gay
are.
caveman could have been... We don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what this gay caveman's deal was.
Well,
Anyway.
he's clearly, very active. He's walking around with a large bone in hand.
Yeah. I think the only difference between now and 2011 is that now, if the discovery of a gay caveman was made, it would be optioned into a Netflix TV show.
And he wouldn't even figure out he's gay until episode 10.
Yeah.
Despite having gay sex every episode.
Well, I don't know. Is it a Netflix show or is it more like a bad network sitcom?
I don't...
This summer on CBS, Gay Caveman.
Isn't that too bold for CBS? Wouldn't that upset the grandpas?
I think they would make a pun.
You're right. It should be on Fox. Yeah.
It'd be like Dave the Cave Explorer.
Oh no.
Well, he doesn't explore any caves.
Well, in a sense he does, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, a different, a harder
that
cavern
just sounds
to
like
reach.
he's just
Bussy.
Sounds like he's just sexually active in general, though, with that title.
Yeah.
Well, what would you title Gay Caveman?
Caveman.
Oh yeah, it was right there. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm tuning in on this delightful tweet.
I'm doing
I
it
like
as well.
All right. Well, that's that. Thank you for that. A great tweet to end the year on. And there is but one more thing I have to ask. What'd you guys watch this week? Anything fun? Interesting?
I watched Martin Scorsese's Silence.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen this one. I heard it was pretty good.
You know what? So yeah, it's about these two Catholic priests, Jesuits, I think, who go to Japan to find their mentor, who was forced to apostatize by the Japanese government, or allegedly so. And the story gets sidetracked, providing service for this village, the isolated fishing village. And then they kind of get split up, and the main guy gets captured by the Inquisitors, and is basically put to the ultimate test of his faith, because they keep killing people until he apostatizes.
Sounds harsh.
Yeah, and he's screaming at God, "Why won't you say anything to me?"
So this is like...
This is Andrew Garfield as the priest guy, and Adam Driver as the priest guy, and Liam Neeson as the mentor.
How much yelling does Adam Driver do in this movie?
A lot.
Oh, okay. Good.
And he also reads Latin, which is always something I love to see in movies, is Adam Driver reading Latin.
It's true. He should be required to do it once in every movie he's in. Marriage Story would be a different movie if he was just reciting Latin in it.
instead of his angry monologue, he's just ominously chanting.
Yeah, instead of putting his fist through some drywall, he's just chanting Latin.
That probably would have fixed things.
Yeah, you're probably right.
When people start doing Latin, I just sit down and shut up and listen.
Also, I watched The Matrix Resurrections.
Hell yeah. How was it? Was it good?
It was... Well, my friend Comrade Yui describes it as like the archetypical 4 out of 5 movie. It's just like it's so close and yet so far from greatness. Because it's like they barely rehearse the fight scenes and you can tell because everything is cut to shit. None of the set pieces stand up to the original Matrix. But like the meta stuff is really good. Like the first third is really good where Neo doesn't know what's going on. He's just being gaslit all the time. And the new Morpheus is fun. But I really miss Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith. Even if the guy they replaced him with does a good job.
But is it better than the sequels?
No, it's not better than Reloaded. It's better than Revolutions.
Alright. So a better end, anyway, to Matrix.
Oh yeah. It's a happy ending. Spoilers.
Oh, okay. Perhaps mild spoilers, but I did hear, reading various reviews that I've seen on Letterboxd, that pretty much in the movie, or in like the meta context of the movie, is it Lana Wachowski?
Lana. It's Lana.
She's the one who directed this one?
Yeah, Lily Wachowski was not present.
She pretty much admits
the so bad.
The characters in this that the studio was going to make a Matrix movie one way or another.
The movie is very much about that struggle. The internal struggle the artist is experiencing, having their work commoditized by capital.
I'm all for it if it means that this is like their way of protecting a franchise that they just wanted to like milk some money from.
Oh, I'm sure that Warner Brothers will make another sequel anyways.
Yeah, probably. So what? That's a tune-in on Matrix Resurrections?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right. This week I watched... first up, I'll talk about the bad, I guess. Spoilers for what I'm going to say about this. I got free tickets to watch Marvel's The Eternals. And...
Okay.
You know, for having free tickets, I guess it was all right.
Uh-oh.
Glad I didn't pay for it.
So what happened to Kingo?
So
yeah, that's
good, Swanson?
King, huh?
It wasn't good? You weren't like, whoa, this is like revolutionary or whatever they were saying about it?
Was anyone saying that about this?
There was like that sarcastic tweet, I think.
Oh, yeah, where there was like the one shot of like a CGI background and they were like, look how beautiful this is. Yeah, so
new ground that's been broken in film and cinema.
They got a director who just won the Academy Award for Nomadland, a movie that was all right, but one of the things that made that movie work was it had excellent directing and cinematography. It looked beautiful, and they have her do this Marvel movie that does look different from Marvel movies, but is, you know, Marvel movie. It has a certain style it has to adhere to. And I don't know, it's interesting. It's not a good movie, I don't think, strictly speaking. Like, it's passable maybe at best. But it does do some things that haven't happened in a Marvel movie before that I kind of enjoyed.
Like a gay caveman character.
There is a gay character in this who's actually a gay character who has like a husband and he gets to talk with him and everything, and have like a kiss even on screen.
And he says, "I love being gay." To the audience directly.
He looks at the audience and says, like, "I'm gay," and that's
the end of the gay plot line.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely better than when they were like, "Get ready for this. Avengers Endgame will have the first gay character." And it was like one dude who was mourning the death of his husband.
And it was played by the straight director.
Yes.
One of the
It's I would say it's a better version. in that case. Also, this is it's a Marvel movie. There's a sex scene in this one.
What if The Matrix ended with Neo just on the phone being like, "I'm gay," and he flies off and Rage Against the Machine starts playing?
Kick-ass movie. Just come with it now. Do-do-do. Do-do-do.
You said there's a sexual encounter in this Marvel film?
Yes, they're just glided over that one like Neo. Yeah, there's a sex scene in this one, which is unheard of for a Marvel movie. No one even dreams of romance.
How did it make you feel?
It was like 10 seconds long, so it just happened. But like, I was like, huh, that's interesting to put in there.
Do you get to see boobs?
No. This is a PG-13 movie, sir, man.
All the Avengers movies should have a scene where all the Avengers suit up and we get to see them like stripped down and change into their...
Yes. Good.
Oh,
correct.
No.
But no, so for that, it's like, all right, well, they're at least trying... It's at least trying to do something moderately different, but it does, of course, end with a big CGI battle that is like...
There's just like 500 CGI creatures on screen being murdered at any given moment.
Yeah, kind of like that. It has a big cast of characters who all like aren't really well developed. The movie tries, I think, to develop them all, but it doesn't. Also, there's a dude named Icarus who, spoiler, flies into the fucking sun at the end.
Does he survive?
No, he's dead, I think. They act like he's dead. He'll probably come back, but he flies into the sun. Because it's like Icarus, get it?
It's exactly Icarus?
No, well, they do make a joke about how one of the other characters made that story up about him. But he's not like exactly the Icarus from Greek, or is it Greek? Yeah, I think it's Greek mythology.
Better be Greek.
What are you going to
sure
do?
Nintendo came up with it.
It's people I'm going to have to talk to about this if it's not a Greek mythology story.
Anyway, I would say it's probably a tune-out. It was fine.
Sad.
I appreciate that it tried to do moderately different things. Anyway, other than that, I did finish Squid Game, which I'm sure we'll be talking about later, but good stuff.
Okay,
I can agree with that. Show. I can agree with that.
I didn't watch it.
I'd recommend it. I'd say of programs that I've watched this year, it's up there. More on this later. Yeah, I would say heavy tune-in. Probably the best thing I've seen on Netflix since Queen's Gambit last year. Netflix is really good with miniseries, I've learned. It's a shame that they're trying to make more of Squid Game.
Yeah. Okay, what have you watched?
Yeah, did you watch anything, Gio?
Let's see. What did I watch? I feel like I watched something, but no, I didn't.
You should write down what you watch in MS Paint.
I watched this YouTube video that was an hour long.
Okay.
Of this guy using AI to generate Pokédex entries on YouTube.
Oh, okay. How'd that go?
It was really funny.
Okay, what's it called?
I think it's I use an AI to generate Pokédex entries.
That's it for all that, which means that there is but one thing left for us to do. It's to talk through the year in 2021 and figure out...
So what you mean is we're still talking about what we watched?
Yes, but what we're talking about is what we watched for the pod. Previous episodes that you can check through if something sounds interesting. If you watch something and you're like, wonder what their opinion of it was. I mean, we're going to tell you, but you could also listen to it again. It's our look through the year.
If you want to do that, pause right now.
That's right. It's our look through the year in podcasting. We're going to find out what's the worst of 2021 and what's the best. Overall, looking back at it and thinking about it, 2021 has been...
awful.
Yeah, a pretty bad year for, I think, TV, based off of at least us. I'll get more into that at the end of the pod. I think you'll get an idea of what I mean by this. But It just feels like TV was, for at least for the first half of the year, in a real bad spot.
True.
We were watching some straight trash garbage. But let's not waste any time, huh? Let's get into it, I guess.
Yes, I got MS Paint open, ready to start.
All right, then.
Drawing this diagram.
Our first show, as usual, was a show from the year before. It was CBS All Access, formerly CBS All Access. It's now Paramount Plus, I think. It was a show called The Stand.
Oh, no. Yeah, I remember that. That's where we talked about masturbating in your pants.
Yeah, because there was like a creepy evil kid or something.
That was an incel guy who gets turned to the dark side.
Yeah. This was an adaptation of Stephen King's The Stand, and it was very focused on a virus plaguing the planet,
killing like 99% of the population within like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so it was great. It was a great show to watch at that moment in time.
Except for the great part. It wasn't very good.
No, it was a bad show. We tuned out on that one. I don't know if it's really worst material, but Gio, do you remember anything about The Stand?
I remember the guy was like, "Oh, I love this girl. She's like really she's my favorite. I'm a creepy boy, and it's fate that we're together." And then she's like, "Actually, I'm not really into you."
Oh yeah, there was like a weird time. There was like a weird time skip where it shows her with like some other dude, and she's pregnant. Yeah.
Some weird parallel editing back and forth in media res nonsense. They couldn't just tell the sequence of events linearly, because that would have been too simple. And also, people had really chubby necks from the virus.
Oh yeah, they were like all like they had a bunch of fluid in their neck or some gross stuff. But in 2021 TV land, we did go back. We watched another CBS All Access Paramount Plus show, Coyote.
Oh,
if you guys don't remember this, it starred Michael Chiklis from The Shield, and he is like a border officer.
Yeah, I remember. I was thinking of the other show with the trucker guy who's a serial killer, except he's trafficking people.
Yeah, that's Big Sky. That was from last year, or 2020, yeah.
No, Michael Chiklis is like just breaking into places and beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, he like gets thrown over the border or something, is that right?
I don't remember. I only remember him fighting a guy in the restroom.
Yeah, I seem to recall he was building a house in Mexico and traveling in...
He was, like, renovating a house.
In Mexico.
Yeah, and there was this woman, and she's, like, in trouble.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was not a good show.
She killed somebody with a caulk gun, I think.
Oh, yeah, he, like, cocked a man in the mouth.
Oh, he did. I forgot who did it.
I think he did that, yeah. Yeah, he saved some girl from like the people on the border, and then like they had to go on a run or whatever.
Yeah,
I just remember the opening shot of that was like some people walking in the desert, and then he passes them and like takes their canteen of water and walks away. Oh.
There's a weak should fear the strong, Swanson.
It's true. Yeah. Anyway, so far so good. Nothing that I really call worst of the year material. Bad shows, sure, but nothing like vile.
Mostly forgettable.
Yeah.
Not as racist as we were expecting.
Yeah. We head over to Disney Plus next for WandaVision, the first Marvel show to land on the streaming service.
Yeah, I was not absent for that because I had tummy troubles.
That's true, but you did watch part of that, right? You did watch
I did watch the first episode.
Thoughts?
And I concluded it was a complete waste of time.
Yeah, we did tune in on that episode, but I think I'm the only one who finished all of it, right?
Yeah, I only remember people being very obnoxious about the ending on Twitter.
Obnoxious in what way?
Like, just portraying it as the highest art possible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was, like, I would not say anything was good about the ending, but everything it was good until like I don't know the last episode maybe. The last episode was sort of just It's weird. It ended almost exactly like an MCU movie. It was just a big CGI battle, and then nothing of consequence actually happened. Really, she doesn't face any repercussions for spoilers. I guess brainwashing a bunch of people. Yeah. But what I liked about the show and why it's probably the MCU show that came out this year that I liked the most is it did a lot of fun, had a lot of fun with TV sitcom sort of styles. Each episode had a different style of a TV sitcom. There was an episode where it was like Malcolm in the Middle. That was fun. And as like it was only a half hour most of the time, so that's nice.
Yeah, there was an episode that I thought was pretty fun that they were just doing sitcom stuff.
Yeah, when it was like just fun sitcom stuff that was like playing on the sitcom's history in TV and like also slowly doling out a potential mystery. That was fun. Unfortunately, the mystery was not that interesting when it was all revealed.
A lost situation.
Yeah. Also, there was that meme where Vision says, what is love but grief persevering or whatever. That was the thing that happened from this show.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a show from NBC. Ted Danson's in this. It's Mr. Mayor.
Is that the one where he fights a guy in a cabin?
What? Hold on. He fights a guy in a cabin?
I don't remember.
I don't believe Ted Danson is fighting guys in a cabin at this age.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different Mayor show.
Did I watch this one?
Yeah, Keo. This is the show that you said was the first AI-generated TV show.
I remember that. Maybe I don't. Was I on that?
We were all on this show, this episode. This was basically like one of those very joke-heavy sitcoms where there's not the plot itself is irrelevant to the jokes that are being manufactured. I remember it being mostly harmless, but I don't think we tuned in on it. Obviously, it was mostly harmless because we forgot about it. It's drifted from our conscience.
I remember the show being just...
Oh, is that the one where he does weed?
Yeah, that's the second episode he does weed.
That's all I remember, sorry.
He eats an edible.
Yes. I remember the show. I remember it just having, like... every character was a stock character on this program?
Yes. Now I see what Keo was talking about, yeah.
Yeah. Which is why you thought it was generated by an AI.
And, like, the jokes they had at the beginning of the very first episode read like an AI did generate them. They were like, talking about pizza, but they weren't talking about it like people actually ate pizza. They were talking about it, like, in a way that, like, an algorithm could have come up with.
It's so nice and spongy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about, like, the concept of pizza without having actually tried pizza.
Exactly.
Next on the list, we go to the CW for Walker, the reboot of Walker, Texas Ranger.
They killed his wife, man.
That stars one half of the brothers from Supernatural, I think.
Wait, what show?
Walker.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Walker. The Walker, Texas Ranger reboot.
More like walk away from this.
Turn 360 degrees and walk away.
It was a lot of a guy being haunted by his dead wife.
Yeah, and a gondola.
Oh, yeah, a gazebo, right? Was it a gondola?
That was a gazebo.
Yes, there was like a gazebo that people ran away to. I seem to remember that. Yeah, not perhaps of the shows we've covered so far, easily the worst, I would say.
Yes.
There's something about, I think the CW, much like Netflix, has a house style that I find repugnant.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't jive with this. Also, no roundhouse kicks.
Oh yeah, they don't do that. What?
How are you going to reboot Walker, Texas Ranger without the most important part outside of Chuck Norris, the roundhouse kick?
Yeah,
Well,
there was like nothing going for this show. It was boring. It continued to show that.
To be fair, Chuck Norris was basically a cardboard cutout in most of his acting roles.
Yeah, but there's a gravitas there that of just his presence, right?
His beard, you mean?
Yes. Next up, a Netflix program that I'm going to be interested to see how much you remember. Firefly Lane.
Oh, what?
This is a Netflix show that is like a decade-spanning sort of relationship drama about these two ladies who have like a friendship, a deep friendship.
Was I even on that one?
Yeah, you were here. This is our friend Karate Kevin came back for this one because there was not a whole lot going on with this show. It was I don't even remember who really was in it, but it involved I think there was like, so one of them hosted a daytime talk show. I want to say.
Yeah, I remember that now that you said that.
And she was like married to the producer, but it was doing the thing that we all have bemoaned many times on the pod of jumping between like different timelines just to pad out stuff.
Yeah, I think there was a crystal ball.
I don't remember a crystal ball, but you could be right for all I know. Anyway, it was a show that existed, and we watched it, and that's all I can really say about it, I think.
It would have been better if they were gamers and they were playing video games.
Yeah?
The two best friends, yeah.
Just playing video
cool
games?
Names like Shadow and Ash.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It would be better if it was two dudes playing a VR fighting game, and then they had sex in the game.
Would that be
muddled
good?
because one of them is female, is playing the female character.
Yeah, and they're like, "Whoa, are we gay though?"
I guess not.
Yeah, but then they guess they still meet up.
All right.
That was a bad episode of Black Mirror. Next up, a show that Stairmaster was not here for, I don't believe. CBS's reboot of The Equalizer. Keo, if you don't remember this, it had Queen Latifah in it. And she was like solving...
Did she like stop a rape or something?
Yeah, there's like a carnival was involved, I think. Surprisingly, one of two shows in which a Ferris wheel played into the plot of the episode we watched.
I assume at one point the Ferris wheel comes off its hinges and rolls after Queen Latifah.
I guess involved in the plot is weird, but I mean, like, it was on screen while the plot is going on. Also, it's a CBS show, so there was a hacker character, I seem to recall.
He was, like, off the grid.
I've hacked into the Ferris wheel.
Was that this show that had the hacker who was, like, underground and off the grid?
Yes.
And was just being brought back for one more job?
Yeah, I believe you're right, yeah. Anyway, far from the worst, but next up is one that I would say is a runner, in my opinion. Another CBS program. It was it was the very strange Silence of the Lambs sequel, Clarice, where Hannibal Lecter could not be mentioned by name. Another episode, by the way, where Stair was absent. What's going on here, Stair?
I did watch that.
Oh, you did watch Clarice.
Yeah. Maybe I was on it. Maybe you're full of shit.
No, you weren't on this, I don't think.
Okay, I was going through a lot then.
True, I probably. I don't know.
My stomach was upset, I think, that week.
Yeah.
I didn't want to scare the listeners.
But yes, Clarice was a show where Clarice Starling is like back on the force, and they just never. They're like, hey, it was a good job that you and insert name here helped defeat Buffalo Bill. It's a shame we can't find it's a shame we can't find insert name here.
You're pretty traumatized, aren't you?
Dead naked woman in that.
Yeah, I think
Was there?
I think you're right, Stare. Yeah.
Yeah, that was gross.
You're pretty traumatized, but you're gonna be here. You're gonna have your one friend. You're gonna crack the case, but we're not gonna listen to you. And also, this is like highly episodic for some reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because she uncovers like some sinister conspiracy or some shit at the end.
But it's just for the episode, wasn't it? It was just like, yeah.
I think at the end it was like this is like the plot for a season of this show. It's like there's a conspiracy or something. Maybe not. I do remember that she like declares in front of news cameras that this wasn't a serial killer or something. The murder she was investigating. I don't know. I remember that her and like the lead, the guy that like is her boss in this group were like at odds with each other because he was like, "This is definitely a serial killer," and she was like, "I don't think so." And he's like, "Well, you don't know jack shit, I guess."
He was unbelievably incompetent. Like, he just didn't bother with his job. It was so poorly written.
Yeah. And I'm going through the list here, or maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I think I'm starting to notice maybe the problem with a lot of the bad shows we watched this year. And, you know, I'm not fully at my conclusion yet. I think I'll have it at the end of the episode. But you might already be able, based off of the network names I am saying, to guess what the issue might be. Anyway, let's head over to NBC. For Young Rock, this is one that I distinctly remember as being bad.
Very interesting piece of propaganda.
Yeah, of rock-aganda. So it's like 3 different versions of The Rock from different age groups. And Dwayne Johnson is also there because he's in 2032, he's running for president of the United States or something.
Apparently things have not gotten better.
Evidently. And he's like sitting down for an interview where he goes through his life.
Yeah, and the guy just like, "You're so great."
Yeah, he's like, "So tell me, Dwayne, how are you so good at what you do? How are you so righteous and awesome at the same time?"
Yeah, they have a interview as a framing device, but it's just not funny.
It's not funny. The Rock can't be like fallible in any way, even as a teenager. Like, he steals stuff, and then it cuts to The Rock being like, "Stealing's wrong, Jack.
I did some crimes, but I learned from them, and I'm not going to do them again."
Yeah. And it's just, it wasn't very good from what I remember. They have like, they have wrestlers come in because they want them to be like, they want you to be like, "Hey, check it out. It's Andre the Giant, but he's played by a different person." And yeah, I don't know. I don't remember it being particularly engaging in any way. I remember The Rock's dad is like a struggling wrestler. I remember there's like, I think the second episode we watched, he like takes a girl to see his dad at a show, and it ends up being like a flea market, and it's like the most embarrassing thing imaginable.
Yeah, but she's really into it.
Yeah, because this can't end in like, just like, this can't end with him being embarrassed about his dad in any way.
Oh, you remember this plotline about him meeting a homeless guy?
Oh yeah, I do recall that he loses his car, or he buys his car, and there's a homeless guy in it or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
they're like, "Oh, I don't know if this is true or not."
Yeah, it seems suspect, and then also he mentions that like the guy died or something.
Yeah, he just died.
Yeah. Good times.
I'm pretty sure I did my own research on this back then to see if it was supposed to be a true story. I don't remember if it was or not.
Yeah, that's, you know, you're gonna have to go back, listen to the episode to find out. Next up, we have another CW. We're heading into the Arrowverse for Superman and Lois.
It was okay.
I remember Superman having some real shitty kids in this one.
Well, one shitty kid and one this shy kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, like, one of them has powers and the other one doesn't or something. But it's not the one you think. All right.
We have no idea if they committed to that or not.
Yeah, it's true. I have no idea. I'm assuming it's still on the air because the CW, like, never cancels anything. Superman, like, dies or should have died at one point, right? Like he gets stabbed with kryptonite.
Yeah, he fights. Yeah.
He gets stabbed with like a kryptonite knife and should have just plummeted to the earth and died, but doesn't for some reason. Yeah, good times.
He just gets totally owned, and it just doesn't matter. There's just no. It was like, yeah, that happened, but like, it's fine.
I got beat up pretty bad. Oh well. Back to Superman and.
Yeah, it was just like the most baffling sequence where it's like, wow, this is major events happening. It's like, actually, wait, it's fine.
Yeah.
Also, the farm is getting bought up or something. Lois is investigating the insurance industry.
Oh yeah, his mom's farm is like getting bought up. Yeah, and that's why they moved to Smallville or wherever the fuck this farm is.
Yeah, Martha died.
Yeah. Why'd you say that name?
That's the name. That's her
name. Why'd you say that name?
Please put down your incredibly sharp batarangs.
Martha. Martha.
Oh, gross. He's crying.
Oh. It's not gross. It's beautiful.
Oh. Yeah, this is cinema magic, Stairmaster.
Keogh's like, the look of a man in despair, isn't it? Invigorating.
Next
this
up
is humanity.
A show that I had to remind myself of just now. NBC's Debris.
Oh yeah, it's like Stalker, but for white people.
Excuse me?
It's like, a roadside picnic. There's just a bunch of alien garbage strewn all over the place, and people are trying to figure it out.
Yes. Yeah, there's like an alien spacecraft like fell on the Earth or whatever and like broke up.
Like
and
God jizzed on the planet.
Yeah, and now it's essentially the X-Files if it was boring and had like a vaguely British lady in it. And
also a guy gets stuck in a wall and has to be mercy killed.
Oh yeah,
they had Doritos in this one.
Yeah, that was what they all looked like. They all looked like big like floating Dorito, not big, like just little floating Doritos that like made you float around and die or whatever.
Yeah.
They just made like random paranormal events happen.
That was like a spooky child.
Yeah.
And he was like a serial killer or something. He kept killing moms. Is that what was happening?
Yeah, I think that was like the Debris was doing that or something because it was like a ghost, right?
Yeah, like it was just kind of bizarre.
Yeah, it was like take every bad episode of the X-Files that you remember, where like it's not really explained what happened in that episode, and then make a whole show out of it, and that's what you got here. It was very interesting, I guess, in terms of how it managed to both explain stuff too much and not at all.
They managed to make me not care about these Doritos somehow.
Yeah, and it's the first time I've ever not cared about a Dorito.
Usually when there's Doritos, I'm like, whoa, can I have some?
I need some gamer fuel.
Yeah, but in this show, it was like, no.
Next up, we have one that I remember very well, and I think you guys do too, at least the first episode. Marvel's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
A.K.A. Boat Trouble.
Yeah, a.k.a. a boat down financial ruin. Yeah, what was going to be a big, like, superhero story about, like, who replaces Captain America, decided to make its first episode about a gripping financial drama about how, it's hard to get a loan even if you're a superhero, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like, you don't have good enough credit, and your family boat's in jeopardy, and those are the stakes for this for this program, folks.
Yeah. I did watch the entirety of this show, and I don't know. I like the guys who play Bucky and Falcon, even if I don't really like Falcon as a character.
Oh,
it's a mess. I
forgot what show we were talking about, and thought we were still on Debris.
No, I did not watch. I'm not a masochist in that regard. Mm-hmm. No, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was not good. I would say it's not very good.
We call that bad.
It's a mix. It's hard to say because I guess this was like a thing that there was like a plot line that got sort of axed because of COVID that involved maybe a virus, from what I've heard.
Oh,
and that sort of made the plot, the villains seem sort of inadequate. Also, everything that isn't like involved isn't just direct buddy fun time with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is kind of boring. Once they actually get the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Bucky and Sam together, it's actually their chemistry is fun, and they have like a nice rapport. They have a nice like chemistry. Yeah, they have a nice rapport. But the plot doesn't help it, and it's weird. There's a character in this who is I don't think he shows up in the first episode, but he is technically the first guy. He's the first Captain America. Technically, he was a black man who they tested the serum on. And he gets to live in peace so long as he doesn't mention that he was like the first Captain America because the government's kept it secret. And Sam goes to visit him, and he's like, hey, he says multiple times, he's like, listen, man, they don't want you as Captain America. They can't handle that, and they don't want that. That's what happened to me. It's what's going to happen to you. And then eventually Sam is like, well, I think I can take over the mantle of Captain America. And instead of just keeping that bit of tension of this guy being like, well, they're not going to understand, he has to switch his entire viewpoint to be like, well, you show them. You can, if anyone can do it, you can, Sam. You can change racism, I guess. And it doesn't vibe with me. I don't like the idea that this guy has to change his entire view. They just can't have this little bit of tension between this guy who doesn't agree with the choice Sam made. That's probably the worst part of that.
Also, I really appreciated the sequence at the beginning where people are like basically doing a war battle, and it's just like completely bloodless.
Yeah, it's the blood. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Swanson, they gotta change his opinion at the end, otherwise they're validating him by having him stick to his ways. They gotta have him say, I'm wrong, in order
for the status quo to remain the same.
Yeah, and also to, invalidate his opinions that he's presenting.
Also, Elaine from Seinfeld shows up at the end of this.
What? Is she working for Thanos or something?
She's, so there's this guy, he's U.S. agent in the comics, but he's the guy they make the new Captain America. If you remember the end of the episode, his doofy guy comes out and he's like, I'm Captain America, hello, I'm white. He's played by Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son. He does a pretty good job in this show, but, to go back to Keo's bloodless thing, he does literally behead a man with the shield and you see no blood. Except for, like, later there's some blood on the shield, but, like, you don't see anything from the man being literally beheaded with the shield by this guy.
That sounds fun.
But, yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, a.k.a. Elaine from Seinfeld, of course, shows up at some point and is, like, recruits him for something she's doing, which allegedly is supposed to be, like, the Thunderbolts, which is, like, Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Yawn.
So, yeah. But it does make me wonder who's next in the Seinfeld verse. When are we going to see Jason Alexander show up as a Marvel character? When will Jerry Seinfeld hit on a 18-year-old or a 17-year-old woman on the set of an MCU?
Oh, he's Scarlet Witch's new boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's like, like in the new Doctor Strange movie, she's like, I found someone else, and it's like him and Jerry Seinfeld's here, and he's like, what can I say? I like him young.
I like to strike while the iron is hot. By iron, I mean pussy.
But yeah, overall, I had a lot of problems with it, as you can tell. I went on for a good bit about what I didn't like about that. But yeah, it was a mess that I didn't enjoy.
Boat?
Yeah, there was a boat. Oh yeah, and get this, Kyo. Right before the climactic battle, when they're down and out, when Sam and Bucky are down and out, you know how they train and get back together, and what they do? You know what they do?
They
go on a fishing trip?
They fix the boat. Together, as friends, they fix the boat.
It'd be cool if at the end they use the boat to fight the bad guy. Like they turn it into a battle boat.
Yeah.
Like if you can fly, or they're fighting on the water.
Both. Whatever mode they want. Well, we watched Cow and Chicken. We took a break from regular stuff just to watch a classic.
An interesting artifact of the early 90s.
Yeah, this is a show that does not hold up in any way. It's bad.
It is a bizarre program.
Yeah. You know what? I'm saying it now. Cow and Chicken, worst show of 2021.
Okay.
We're charting all these shows that were not in 2021.
Yeah, well, it's bad. It's a bad show. Not very good, I'd say.
Do you think the big fat red guy was a gay caveman?
I think he knew the gay caveman.
He's really sophisticated for a caveman.
I think he knew him.
Hold on. Isn't he? If he's the devil,
and he is,
and hell's basically a cave,
and he is.
Is hell a cave?
Basically.
How? How do you know this?
On that.
It's under the ground.
Do you know that
what
for a fact?
Is?
It's like another dimension.
No, it's under the ground. That's why it's called the underworld.
If you dig, you'll get down to hell?
Yeah. That's why it gets hotter when you dig down to this.
Well, here's a shovel, bitch. Start digging.
I'll die before I get there. It's so hot.
You'll die either way.
Oh, no. Why do people dig their own graves? Like, make the guy with the gun do it himself.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? Murder you?
Yeah.
That's what the grave is for.
I think they can torture you a bit.
Not if you just go at them with the shovel, then they'll have to put you down immediately.
That's true. And you can maybe even win with the shovel.
It's true. Yeah. I don't know. Interesting question, Stairmaster. Perhaps we need 3.5 hours to dissect that question.
Okay, but we all agree he's gay, though. The big fat red guy.
Yeah, he's not a caveman, but yes.
If you think he's a caveman, let us know on Twitter. If hell's a cave. Which is where the big fat red guy lives. Or is from.
Outside of... we went back to regular TV for Amazon's Invincible. A show that I've been meaning to watch the rest of and haven't yet, but I've heard good things.
I think I was the only one who watched it to the end of the season.
I thought Keo watched all of it, but maybe not.
Invincible, that was the
animated program that was the superhero boy and his lighthearted, totally normal father.
Oh yeah, I finished that one. That was really good.
Yeah, the only problem is I don't think they should do 45-minute episodes.
Yeah?
Why?
Didn't work out?
Sometimes it doesn't work out.
Like when?
I don't remember. It's been like months. But that's the thing I was thinking at the time.
No, I never thought that at all.
Okay.
I thought that the pacing was pretty good in the show.
Stair's opinion? Wrong. Opinion changed by opinion changer.
We should get a parrot to say that. Shut up, Stair.
Over in
you got to back up your points on the program.
Well, Stair can't remember anything that happened beyond like a month ago. So
My brain's full of holes.
This episode should just be called Brain Fog.
Yes.
Next on the regular agenda, Law and Order: Organized Crime. Our boy, he was back on this one. Dylan McDermott was here for as a mob guy, I think, right?
Who immediately gets murdered.
He doesn't get murdered. He murders his dad, right? In a
Brother.
Ferris wheel.
I thought it was his brother. Maybe it was his dad.
Yeah, this was a show in which Detective Stabler is here solving a crime. An organized crime.
Show.
Dylan McDermott is also here. He's chewing up the scenery. He's like, hey, listen, hey, Stabler, you ever wonder what happened to your wife? And Stabler's like, yes.
I don't remember any of it. Sorry.
And he, he's here.
This was a sleepy program. They tried to set up like this dramatic crime environment with Dylan McDermott's character, but it was just like, yeah, just get it over with. Just wrap this up.
Yeah, I remember his dad is like talking with him. He's like, "You're a bum," and then he kills him in a Ferris wheel. That's really it.
He's like, "Oh, you're a bad dad. Well, you're not going to be a dead dad."
Oh, his dad ended up being racist, right? And he's married to like a black woman. Maybe yeah, something. He's married to a woman who's not white. And his dad was like, "Yeah, well, I don't like that." And he's like, "Well, I don't like you being alive." And he killed him. And meanwhile, Detective Stabler is like clearly should not be given a badge and a gun, but he's like made second in command of the Organized Crime Control Bureau.
Yeah. I can't believe we're still doing the Mafia in 2021.
Yeah. They're
still around. They're still jumping around, doing things.
Yeah, they're picking stuff up, putting stuff down, killing people.
Presumably, yeah.
In Ferris wheels.
They're still around, right?
Barely.
I haven't checked.
I'm sure there are mafia people around. Yeah.
Yeah, like one of the bosses of the Five family got shot by a QAnon guy. Shot and killed.
Damn. The real organized crime. We got Netflix's The Serpent.
Oh yeah, they picked like one of his most interesting guys from the 60s.
I made him boring.
Made it completely boring.
It was just the most boring thing imaginable that you could do with like a very interesting story. Yeah,
a guy who literally talked his way out of prison. To continue killing people.
And then they were just like, what if we have him played by a guy who's not really compelling? And then also the story is like weird. Like the story is, once again, the story is not a linear story. They have to split it up. Anyway, it wasn't very good.
They also have this unconvincing best friend character who's like, I don't know if we should murder this lady. And he's just like, no, we're going to do it. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the tension at the end was him being like, should we murder this lady? I don't know if that's really a good idea. And he's like, we're going to do it. He's like, I guess we're doing it.
I guess I'm a full-blown accomplice here, enthusiastic participant in this crime.
I'm nodding my head in agreement because there's nothing else for me to do now. Yeah, pretty much. Bad show. Worst show of the year? Maybe something we'll litigate. We can do that later, though. It is pretty bad. I'll give it that. But is it like the worst that we've seen? I don't know. It's up there, maybe. Just in terms of squandering a good idea.
That's kind of... Yeah, it's kind of boring, which is the worst thing that can happen to us on this program.
True. Next up, speaking of the Whedon cut, we watched HBO's The Nevers. The show that was... You don't remember us watching this?
Making this up.
We watched this, The Nevers. It was a series set in Victorian London and had a bunch of women who were like had an abnormal abilities. There was like a big
it was the X-Men.
Yeah, there was like it was female X-Men mostly. Also, Joss Whedon was involved with this, but isn't mentioned in the credits by name at all.
He got unpersoned immediately before the first episode released.
Yeah,
or something.
And he was involved like heavily with the majority of it.
Yeah, they got a steam car. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, steampunk elements in this, too, I seem to remember. I mostly recall it being not good.
I think my main problem with this show was they didn't set up the conflict in a way that made me care about it. If they're was a conflict in the first episode.
There's like
there
a
was
serial
Lady
killer,
Joker.
I think. Yeah, there's a serial
Lady.
killer it's like Lady Joker is the serial killer. It's just like
Not Harley Quinn, Lady Joker.
it's not even that she's Lady Joker, right? It's like she has a legitimate like split personality illness and everyone's just like, she's a villain.
I don't remember.
She like kills some people. It's like pretty like it's a little over the top there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she's jokering out. She's, having a laugh. Also, I seem to recall that there's the show says that aliens gave them their ability or something. Like there's a big flying object in a flashback that they show that gives everyone like superpowers. Brings like the dead back to life or some shit.
Well, it gives women superpowers, which is...
Yeah, this is why Stare didn't like the show, right?
Yeah. I think
like
that's
women.
unfair to the men.
Yeah, why not give the men
fellas.
some power? They don't have enough
Fellas
of it.
need powers too.
Yeah.
I would like to see like a show where there's like a really strong man fighting.
Yeah, that doesn't happen
Maybe
enough.
he's bald and
Yeah.
depressed.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to be bald, but it would help.
No, he has to be bald.
Alright, sure.
Yeah, he can be bald.
Next, we went to Netflix for Godzilla Singular Point. Watched an anime program that I remember being... No Godzilla in this, by the way.
There are like
First
little
strike.
rodons.
Yeah, there was some Rodons, there was... I just remember this being
Jaguar.
impenetrable. Like, it was just a lot of, like... Here's some fun anime people doing, like, nothing of importance.
Occult mysteries.
Yeah. And, like, the only time we see Godzilla is at the end, and he's a skeleton.
Well, there's also there's a mural.
Yeah. Also,
Little-
Jet Jaguar's in it for a little bit.
Presumably he's in it for the rest.
Yeah.
We don't know. We didn't follow up.
I
Still
sure
have
didn't.
that girl. It's a TV tuner, Zavi, on Twitter.
Yeah.
The interns are really attached for some reason.
We haven't had a good one since.
But yeah, this wasn't a good show from what I remember. Not awful or anything, just meh.
It was kind of flat. I think it didn't really entice.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not enticed to watch any more of this. Because you know why? No goddamn Godzilla. Give me some Godzilla in the first episode. Don't make me wait for some Godzilla.
He needs to just be attacking.
If you name
Not-
your show
not-
Godzilla, I want some Godzilla.
Not
What if
a
it's like titled
prophesized
Godzilla's coming?
Maybe.
Godzilla on the way.
What if it's titled like the Godzilla Prophecies?
Godzilla soon.
Godzilla approaching.
Godzilla's here? Question mark.
Where's Godzilla?
Oh yeah, there you go. Where in the world is Godzilla?
Probably the ocean.
Next up is an interesting one. Stairmaster was not here for this week's episode, in which Keo and I watched different programs, both from Netflix,
Whoa.
both bad.
Why?
I think a miscommunication. We watched two different shows. Keo
Okay.
watched Shadow and Bone, and I watched Jupiter's Legacy. Both bad programs. Now, Keo, do you remember anything about about Shadow and Bone? Because I didn't watch it.
Okay, I could be completely wrong about what Shadow and Bone was, because the answer is no. I don't remember Shadow and Bone, but I think it was like slightly Game of Thrones-esque, where they had all these like people like walking around talking to each other the whole time.
I think you're right, yeah. It was like
really boring.
there was like shadow people. It was like something about shadows and like the sun or something.
What?
I
Right?
think a guy had I think there was a crystal ball.
I think you remember more of it than I do.
I'm just going off the
be honest
title
with
and like I don't know.
Honestly, Swanson, like I'm trying to remember what Shadow and Bone was. And let me see if I can find some screen caps from the show. See if I can jog my memory about this.
Well, I'll talk about Jupiter's Legacy, which is an adaptation of a comic book, and it looked awful.
Oh, I
it was
watched
bad.
that.
Oh, you
I
did
watched
watch
Jupiter's
Jupiter's Legacy.
About the very old man and his fail family of superheroes.
His fail superhero sons and daughters. Yeah, that was it was pretty bad.
I watched the fight scene at the end where like there was a bunch of people fighting that guy.
Oh yeah, that was awful. That was like the worst part, I think. You watched this, Stare. So you remember that? Do you remember this fight scene where it's like 9 superheroes and like 3 of them are getting killed and like we've never met them and someone's just like, no!
I don't remember that at all.
This like one lady, I just recall one lady or maybe a guy gets his head like squashed and they're all just no, not that guy.
No, you're thinking of Invincible, friend.
No, that happened in Jupiter's Legacy. There were people dying in this. It was
maybe
like
I didn't finish it.
No, and also Invincible at least made the brutality of the moment sink because you didn't know the guy was bad. This is already a bad guy who's just killing people that you like don't even remember meeting.
No, I don't remember that. Didn't Netflix do like an anime spinoff of Jupiter's Legacy? Super Crooks?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I don't know.
Yes, according to the Wikipedia, they did do this. It's not out, but yes.
Good for them.
Anyway, yeah, I didn't like that show. It was a bad show. Did anything jog your memory, Keo, about Shadow and Bone?
There are people walking around talking to each other and nothing happened in the first episode.
Which one's Shadow and which one's Bone?
I assume a Shadow is like is the is the woman and Bone is the man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, why do you assume the woman is Shadow, huh? That's a very interesting. What's your train of thought there, Kia?
The man is Boner.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
The penis.
Checks out.
Checks out there. All right. Next up, Peacock original, Girls 5 Eva.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was a fun show. I never followed up on it, but I remember wanting to. So maybe I'll do that someday.
I hope they figured it out.
Yeah, I hope they got it together.
I don't think I was into that show as much as you guys were.
Yeah, you were like too many women.
I felt like a lot of the comedy of the show was like, isn't being an old woman without dignity.
True.
Well,
time is harsh mistress to all of us.
Yeah, a lot of people would agree. Not us here at TV Tuners, but some people would agree. Next up, we went back to Netflix for this biopic miniseries. Ewan McGregor is in it. Houston.
Houston?
Yeah, I think the fashion guy.
I think my main takeaway was it should have just been a movie.
Correct. This should have been a movie. Ewan McGregor was nice. That was about it.
Yes. You'd love to see him.
Do you see his butt in this one? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
You see someone's butt.
Must have not been very good.
Yeah, I feel like we would have remembered if we saw his butt.
How do you spell Houston?
Yeah, Halston.
Oh, Halston. Okay.
Yeah, it was the he was the fashion designer who made like the pillbox hat. We saw him do like something with Jackie Kennedy.
What's up with shows being just kind of boring?
What is up with that, actually? Why not make interesting shows? I
want the shows to either be like really bad or boring if they're not going to be good.
Correct. And that's not the case, it seems like. For most of what we watched, it was bad. It was just boring. Give me more stuff that is at least bad in a conceptual way, like Clarice.
We need Samurai Cop, the TV show.
Yeah, but I mean, so I would tune in on that. Next up was the last MCU show we watched this year, Loki. Basically, Loki's like a bad guy, and he's like, Owen Wilson's like, come on, Loki. Hey, Loki, come on, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Loki,
I thought this show was like...
Hey, Loki,
okay.
no.
Hey, come on.
Hey,
Hey, why are you tricking me?
Hey, are you trying to trick me, Loki? Are you trying to trick me, Loki?
Hey, stop dressing like a woman and seducing me.
The first episode, we tuned out on this. I think I was the lone... Actually, I think I might have tuned out on it, too. I don't remember. Thing is, I end up watching all of it, and it's not...
Yes,
half
you talked about this.
Yeah, it ends up being pretty okay.
Oh,
The
well.
setting they put him in for the first episode, they just made sure to make it as unexciting as possible.
Yeah. The only thing that could have made it less exciting would be if Owen Wilson was trying to get Loki for, like, boat fraud or something. Like a boat debt that he owed. Loki, you own this boat for millennia. I need your money.
I think that would have been actually really
A
entertaining.
courtroom drama would be very interesting.
Yeah, true.
I'm just... The concept of Loki having a boat crisis is actually very amusing to me.
It's like an old, like, Viking boat that he just has. You need to fix up the boat, Loki. And I know just the person to help you do it. You! And then, like 5 different versions of Loki are fixing up a boat together. That's fun.
The boat sinks, though, and you see him just watch it, like...
Yeah, he's the only survivor.
Yeah. Oh, Loki, I knew you were going to do that. Oh, well, back to death for you.
Most of the Lokis die on the boat. They just, like, drown.
Yeah.
They don't do anything to stop.
Well, no, the boat catches on fire as it sinks below the sea.
Interesting.
Okay.
Next up, Netflix's human-animal crossover event, Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
So
he has like horns, antlers.
Yeah, he has antlers. He's a deer boy.
And his dad died, and now a black guy has to take care of him.
That's right. And black guy doesn't show up till the end, but he is the best part of the show.
We have nothing to say about this.
Yeah,
except it also has a disease killing everyone on Earth.
It's true. Seems like there was a thing going on here, even though these were all produced way before COVID, I think.
It's like we willed it into existence.
It's almost like this has been a trope in media for a really long time, and drawing correlations is going to be a little pointless here.
You're right. The Simpsons is the only one who can predict the future. And they did predict Corona and the George Floyd movement in the same episode. So that's Sweet Tooth. Tune out.
Yeah. Next we got AMC's Kevin Can Fuck Himself.
A rare show that I watched to the end and no one else did.
It's true. It's still I still want to watch that, but I heard it was good. I mean, I liked the first episode. Yes. Good stuff. It was like, you remember the show at all, Keo? Kevin's there. He's not. It's not Kevin James, but it's like a closest approximation they could get.
Yeah, he's there, and he's like, he's up to like the standard sitcoms.
Yeah, correct.
Shenanigans. I was missing up the word sitcom and shenanigan there.
Yeah, he's up to
sitcom shenanigans.
Yeah, and his wife is like, I don't like it.
She's pretty horrified by it.
Yeah, and finds out that he's took all of her money.
Yeah. Also, whenever he's around, it's a sitcom, but when he's not there, it's just it's life. It's a regular,
yeah.
He took the money and bought like a motorcycle or something.
I think he like spent it on betting or something, gambling.
No, I think it was like a sports jersey.
Maybe it was something very frivolous that a person would buy, would actually spend a bunch of stuff on in a sitcom, but in real life has like drastic consequences. Anyway, yeah, it was a good show. I do want to follow up on it because I love the concept. I love the switching between realities, I guess is the best way to put that. The switching between viewpoints is interesting.
Their master doesn't seem to be too jazzed about it, though, after finishing it.
It's good.
Okay.
Stairmaster,
What
like last time we mentioned it, you were like, "Well, I'm glad it's over."
You're like, oh, so it's a good show, I guess. I don't know.
I don't remember that.
Well, it's hard to get Stairmaster excited for anything, really, that isn't like boobs.
What was that?
No, nothing.
Huh?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Yeah, I think Kevin Can Fuck Himself would be better if he saw that lady's boobs.
Would it be better if he did actually fuck himself? Well, wait, hold on. Don't spoil anything for us.
No, he does not get like kinetically forced to fuck himself.
Well, there's still another season.
Yeah.
Next up, Kyoran was off that week, so we decided to watch old forgotten superhero series, Nightman.
Nightman.
Hell yeah. That show rocked.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was basically a guy who, a jazz musician, is also a superhero.
He's got fucking power armor.
Yeah, he's essentially, he's got power armor, he shoots a laser, he's a cool guy.
He can fly.
The theme song is great. There's a baffling part in the theme song that I still remember, which is it shows him playing the saxophone, and then he shows up and turns it off, and it's a hologram that he just plays for like people who are looking into his windows or something.
Why do you have all the fun when I'm not around?
I don't know why you weren't in this episode, Kyo. Don't ask me. More on us having the fun when you're not around later, but
I'm not there, so you guys watch something fun, and when I'm here, you watch like Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, we watch something like this: Resident Evil: Infinite Darkness.
Oh, yeah, kind of misplaced.
That one was bad.
That
one
bad
was bad.
Decisions all around. Should have been about zombies in the White House.
Yeah, it was bad, and the animation looked like it was from PS2 era. Well, maybe not that bad, but it was not good.
Well, I mean, the graphics were good for like an in-game cutscene.
Yeah, but not for like something that I'm watching on the TV.
No,
without playing anything. I'm just like staring at it.
But oddly enough, it was more entertaining than most of the shows we watched this year.
Oh yeah,
True.
It's Leon Kennedy.
It was at least bad in like a fun way.
There's a scene where he like has to outrun a tidal wave of rats.
Yeah, true. That was cool.
And he's also quipping throughout this, which is fun.
Yeah, you'll love to see it. We need more quips in these shows.
Yeah.
But not like Joss Whedon quips.
Like funny quips.
No, they're not
things.
quips. They're one-liners.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
That's actually the difference. Yeah, a one-liner is not someone saying, so that happened.
Yeah, a one-liner is like when Arnie has the guy on the little missile on his plane and he says, "You're fired," and he shoots the missile.
Right, exactly. That's good. More of that.
Yeah, but that's hard to write. That requires actual intellectual effort.
Yeah.
And you can't have a character with a sense of humor, or else you can't take them seriously. It has to be like dour the whole time, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't have just you can't have a guy who's like, you have to just make sure that everyone has like a little joke here and there so you know they're human. Because we're always all just sort of joking during serious situations.
That's what I would do.
Next up...
I mean, I have to make jokes to not have a mental breakdown, probably.
If I was in a Resident Evil situation, I would become the Joker.
Oh, the ultimate quipster. Next up, HBO's The White Lotus.
What is that again?
That was all these
like
people...
a Magic the Gathering card.
Oh yeah, they're at the resort.
Yeah, they're on the resort, and they're all like horrible white people.
Yeah, but a lot of people really swear by it, but I say fuck you.
I heard we didn't like that first episode, but I have heard nothing but good things since. Kind of makes me want to go back and watch it, but who knows? We did spend most of that episode talking about M. Night Shyamalan's Old. The beach that makes you old.
Without having seen it.
Yeah. I still
But we did read a Wikipedia plot summary.
That's true. What a good episode. You should go listen to it.
Did we have a guest on that week?
Nope. It was just us hanging out, talking about Old.
It's so fucked up that the beach would make you go old.
It's true. How could they do this?
They can't let that happen. I remember that story being extremely convoluted for old.
Yeah, I mean, well, it has
Wasn't
to be.
it?
How else does the beach turn you old, Keo?
Magic?
Wrong.
Oh, it was
Can't
magic.
do magic. What are you, fucking idiot?
It was magic.
Fucking idiot. Shut up.
But, like, it was like a pharmaceutical company was, like...
Yeah, they found the
using
magic
it.
beach.
It is a magic beach, and a pharmaceutical company is using it to do test trials.
On their drugs. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is Keo, you were half right, actually. What it is you were half right. It's actually just more... They added on more stuff.
M. Night Shyamalan asked the question, what if there was a magic beach? How would society react?
And that was the answer you came to.
And he was probably
But there was
right.
more to it. Like, they had, like, people crack the case and solve the mystery and everything, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think,
the bad guys get arrested at the end.
yeah. But those children are still, like, adults now.
Sad.
Well, the beach made them old. What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you
Put them on the beach that makes you younger?
Exactly. That's the sequel.
They haven't found it yet. Okay, what happens when you're on the beach for too long? Do you just shrink?
It's Benjamin Button. You turn into a baby and then you poof out of existence. I think that's how that movie ended.
I don't know. Did anyone ever actually see it?
No, I know he's an old baby at the end. Like he's an old man, but he's a baby. And like he dies.
Boss Baby?
Yeah, it's a prequel to Boss Baby. But a lot of people don't know that, but the Boss Baby is Benjamin Button. And they do...
Finally.
It's like just a fun little callback, you know?
We get the truth finally. I can't believe this.
Yeah.
So that's old. What did we watch the week after?
After that, we watched Netflix's He-Man revival, Masters of the Universe, Revelation.
All right, well, I'm giving up on this diagram I'm drawing here.
Oh.
We're almost done. Come on.
You didn't have something for He-Man?
I mean, it's just kind of, like, incomprehensible what I've created here.
That was the point.
Yeah, it does.
Keep going.
It does sort of look like the scrawlings of a madman.
Looks like the QAnon diagram.
Sort of, yeah.
All right, should I make it bigger, or should I just keep squeezing more into this space?
You should do what your heart tells you.
Yeah. This does sort of look
Sure.
like you're trying to remember, like, your life, like a Memento style. Trying to remember what's happening to you.
So me,
Yes.
on this episode.
That's actually, this picture, which we will post on our Twitter page, is a sort of great encapsulation of Stair's mind throughout the year.
Yeah, but this year there's dashes going through all the names and slowly fading into static.
Yeah. Well, and we'll see what 2022 brings, but I bet you it's bad.
So what are we talking about again?
We were talking about Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Yeah, He-Man dies.
That's right. Yeah.
But he doesn't stay dead, it seems like, so...
I
don't know about that.
I don't know,
too
because I
sad.
didn't watch any more of it, because it was meh.
It was just kind of middling, yeah.
Yeah. It was nice that Mark Hamill was playing Skeletor, but other than that,
It's cool that they had the act guys from the Principality of Xeon show up.
I like how, like, the He-Man's dad was just kind of dunking on him for no reason.
Yeah, fuck
You
that
guys
guy.
remember that?
yeah.
I like how the cat was a huge coward.
That's classic.
Classic cat. Fraidy cat boy. Alright, so I did do some quick looking into the ending of Benjamin Button. Weirdly, Hurricane Katrina is involved with the ending.
What?
Wow, that guy lived a while, huh?
I guess. He dies in 2003, and his girlfriend / like love interest, well, yeah, I guess it's his girlfriend. Maybe it's his wife. I'm not sure. She dies in Hurricane Katrina, I guess.
Wow, what a
I
shame.
hate to see it.
But yeah, he dies physically an infant at the age of 84.
I don't understand.
Because he's a reverse age. So he's like a little...
Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
He's got Benjamin Button disease,
Yeah,
Kale.
he's a reverse age boy.
So he
Okay,
disappears?
She doesn't die because of Hurricane Katrina. She's on her deathbed as Hurricane Katrina is approaching.
She died from the stress of Hurricane Katrina.
I guess? I don't know. She's in a hospital and like Hurricane Katrina's coming. This movie is from 2008. So it seems bad timing. Seems maybe you shouldn't have put that in there. And she's like telling someone about the story of the old Benjamin Button, who was young, actually. In a way.
What the fuck?
And he died.
And he dies young. But old.
As an old dead person.
Yeah. Because
I don't understand.
He's reversing an age. What do you want from him, Keo? What more? What do you need, a fucking roadmap?
So he's like a baby with like a beard? And
he's
like
born with
wrinkly?
the appearance and the maladies of an elderly man. And he dies an infant. A literal fucking baby.
Is this sudden infant death syndrome?
No, I don't think he dies. I think he dies of old age as a baby.
So like he's aging
Yes.
Reverse.
Backwards.
But that's not how aging works. It's like
I know, that's the point.
Yeah.
But how's he die? What's the actual cause of death?
He's
Old
a baby,
age.
but too much.
He's old. His actual cause of death is that like old age. Like his body, the inside of his body is like the same. I guess I don't know how the fuck that works, but
I thought it was because he became a baby, but too much.
I guess I don't know.
Does he become like a little fetus and die? Like, is that what happens?
I don't know. I didn't watch this while we were recording it. I'm just relaying the info.
What the fuck are we doing?
I need to understand this.
Listen, the only way that this could be solved is if someone goes over to buymeacoffee.com and buys us a single coffee to have a topic of the curious case of Benjamin Button.
I've got another question. Why is this happening to Benjamin Button?
Perhaps the movie will explain. The only way we'll know for sure is if we watch it. Otherwise, this will be a mystery left to the ages.
I don't want to watch this. I want you to tell me.
Well, you can make... Well, here's the thing. You could go over to Buy Me a Coffee and make us watch anything. Really. You don't. It doesn't have to be Benjamin Button.
You can make us watch more Gundam. That'd be fun.
It's true.
Yeah, just put one coffee and we can talk about Gundam F91.
So after Masters of the Universe, we took a bit of a break. We were hanging out on the beach for a bit, just sort of recollecting our thoughts. Yeah, we were burnt.
We need to recover emotionally.
We came back for Char's Counterattack. Good movie.
The most important film ever made.
Yeah. We also did 10 episodes this year of Gilmore Girls. People apparently love us talking about Gilmore Girls, a show that we've come from, we were very skeptical of and have become mildly okay with.
I think you two are just resigned to your fate.
I mean, it's not a bad show. Well. I'm not going to say, like, this show sucks ass. It's the worst thing I've ever watched or anything. It's not a bad show.
Yeah, it's a good program.
Yeah, it's something you could put on in the background while doing other things. But we did come back to the main feed eventually with a double whammy, as it were. First, we watched the adaptation of Isaac Asimov's novel Foundation, which was mostly okay.
And also had a floating Dorito chip. It's
true. This one was bigger.
Yeah, it was a much more powerful Dorito chip.
We respected this one more.
Yeah. It was pretty good. I remember it being very dense in terms of what it was conveying, but it was good. I might watch more of that down the line.
We were intrigued.
Yes, which is more than we can say for CBS's Ghosts.
For like 90% of the show we watch, including Ghosts.
Yeah. CBS's Ghosts is basically a couple is haunted by a bunch of stereotypes that they find.
Oh,
I forgot I watched that. That was
and that was only like a month ago.
Yeah, it was bad. Maybe worst. We'll see. We'll talk about that.
And also, that had a gay British man.
Correct. Yeah.
That show, like we said on the episode, for some reason decided that it was a good idea to start the show with just all the characters in a room.
Watching
just
an
talking.
old woman die.
Yeah. All of the characters were in one room just quipping back and forth to one another. One of them might as well have said that happened. They might have.
In fact, I'm pretty sure they did, yeah.
Yeah, bad show. From there, we went to Netflix for Squid Game.
Hey!
Yeah, that's just good.
Oh, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, it was a good show.
I didn't finish it.
Yeah, I don't know if we should spoil it. I don't know if Kia's going to watch it, you know.
I already had it like horribly spoiled by people on the internet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was cool.
Forget
it was a good show.
People are just not friendly online about spoiling anymore. They just kind of just do it. They're just like, yeah, here's a meme that'll just spoil the whole show for you. Here you go.
The final episode is perhaps a mixed bag, but I did enjoy the majority of it.
I would agree. I like his hairstyle, his haircut.
His haircut is fun in like a I don't know why it happened, but sure way. Everything with the old man at the end of the final episode is good. The actual ending of the final episode is good, I think. But like the more like this is how this works and whatnot stuff is not what I'm into. Which is why I'm not super excited about it, the idea of a second season. But I don't know. Maybe they'll find something to do with that. I do think
play marbles again.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they'll play marbles against like. I don't know. We'll see what happens in that show. I will say what I think I liked most about Squid Game is that it's something. And this is similar to Queen's Gambit, which I liked a lot last year from Netflix. Netflix has like a house style that I do not like, which is that everything looks like it's made on a soundstage for shows that like you can tell immediately what shows Netflix has invested money into and what shows they haven't. And they seem to have invested a good deal of money in the Squid Game because it looks very good. There's some tight directing in there, a lot of fun shots, a lot of fun like set design. It's fun.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that one, based on the first episode anyway.
Yeah. Next on the list, an old friend returned to the screen with Showtime's Dexter New Blood.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Much discussed on the show, never watched until now.
It's true. Yeah, you guys have finally encountered Dexter in the wild.
As stupid as we expected it to be.
Yeah. Not even the stupidest version of Dexter, but stupid nonetheless.
Apparently it gets stupider as the season goes on.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it does. But yeah, this was weird. There was like a government designed like evil person for Dexter to kill. Just like the most annoying person imaginable for him.
For anyone, really, like...
Yeah. Like, I would have killed this guy, I think.
You know how they do the thing in Chinese stories where they'll put like all the poisonous bugs in one jar and have them fight it out so they can get the most poisonous bug of all time? I think they did that with a bunch of frat boys to get this guy.
They wanted to design like the most frat individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's what this guy is. Yeah, and you know, it's not good. It's definitely better than like the final season of Dexter, but we're talking about like it's better than literally the dirt worst possible thing.
I mean, I will give it this. It didn't bore me.
It's true.
That's the thing about some of these shows that are bad, is that if they're not boring, like I appreciate them at least. Unlike these shows that I forgot about because they were just so boring, which was, I would say, over 90% of the shows we watched were like that.
Yeah. And hey, there's still one more left for us to talk about that's like that. Wheel of Time from Amazon.
Yeah, there's people. There's a samurai guy.
Yeah. Someone had said to me that the Wheel of Time series is a series that doesn't get super interesting until the fourth book.
Oh my fucking god.
Which is a wild thing to say about a book series. Like,
what the fuck off?
Yeah. So if you're already adapting a long series of books, and you're starting with the first book, and it's not very good, or at least slightly drier than the rest, I guess, I don't know, then it's probably not going to translate well. And it didn't, turns out. It's kind of boring. Even gross demon men show up, and it's not cool.
Yeah, it's like a very, what would you call it? It was just uninspired action sequence where...
Yeah. Long, too.
It's very long, and still yet not able to focus on anything except for a few brief moments where it's like, is the dad gonna die? Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, you should watch Char's Counterattack instead.
True.
Which is also on Netflix.
Last but not least, of course, Keo was away, so we should have fun and play with our friend Gio. We watched The Thing, not a TV show, but still very good.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, Christmas movie, The Thing, holiday classic.
Also, we did invite Keo, but Keo got too scared to watch the film.
Yeah, he was spooked.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's a scary film. It would have been great to hear Keo's reactions to the very gross things that happen in that movie.
It's got like a mind creature who's like not friendly.
That's right. Correct.
It's a flesh creature.
Well, yeah, he's very much a flesh creature, actually.
He takes over minds or people's bodies or something.
He takes over bodies. He's like swapping in and out of them. Like gross things are happening when he's doing it to the bodies.
Yeah,
I like how we presume it's a he.
Yeah, we don't know what it is. It's The Thing. It's like gay caveman. We don't know what their deal is.
I would die if a flesh creature got inside my head.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's what happened to the people in this movie.
It's true. They die. Spoilers, everyone is dead at the end. Presumably. At some point, eventually.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Anyway, that is the end of the road.
And before we go on, there is something I wanted to talk about on the Wheel of Time episode that I'm only remembering just now.
Oh?
You notice how Amazon and Netflix have the little stinger, the little bumper at the start? Netflix has the bottom.
Yeah, with the big
but
N.
Amazon has a more pleasing.
Yeah.
It's all swoony and stuff. And I feel like that's why Amazon stuff is way better, usually, than Netflix's.
They take the time to make something that's not just like...
Well, it's not like... It's not assaulting me.
Yeah.
It's like, Netflix you're going to watch a TV show. Good for you.
Netflix is not an assault on the senses, and Amazon is not, is what you're saying.
And that's why I'm mad that Netflix has JoJo now, because I have to hear that at the start and end of every episode.
Yeah. Also, the end credits on Netflix shows are very long.
Yes.
You'll click on an episode and it'll be like an hour and 5 minutes, and you'll be like, oh, it's just like 50 minutes long.
Oh, it's just 15 minutes long.
Yeah. Yes. The rest is just end credits. Anyway, before we get into picking our worst and favorite show of the year, I decided this year I'd added something new to the mix. I took statistics for just this year on shows on the networks we watched and our total what we tuned in and tuned out of. So altogether, we watched 33 shows this year of the current, era of TV. Not bad. Pretty good. 7 of those were tune-ins.
Oh.
That's not good.
That's bad, I'd say.
That seems
awful.
Worse than last year.
I don't know specifically if it's worse than last year. I'm going to go out on a hunch and say it probably is. This is the first year I did yearly statistics. Our general, overall hovered between, 1/3. This is less than a quarter. This is 20%, a little over. So, yeah, not a great year. Now, looking at networks that we watched more than 3 shows from gives us a sort of clue as to why maybe this year was bad. Now, again, how this usually works is we just pick shows that seem like the most interesting to talk about that week that are new, right? So here are the networks that we watched 3 or more programs of. This is how we rated them, I guess, in terms of tune-ins. CBS, 0 for 3. Not a single tune-in among them.
I would be very fucked up if there was a tune-in.
Yeah, true. Over on Disney Plus, we got a 1 out of 3. All Marvel shows, by the way. Almost like there's nothing else on Disney Plus unless, like, you count The Mandalorian, which isn't.
You can watch The Simpsons.
Yeah, but I mean, like, current shows coming out of Disney Plus. It's just that's of any interest. NBC, 0 for 4.
Makes sense.
So you're getting a sort of an idea here. We watched a lot of network programming. My big takeaway here is that network programming, uniformly bad.
Seems to be the case, Swanson.
As the streaming networks have picked up pace, it feels like the actual TV networks have just been like, let's cater to the like oldest possible demographic.
Let's make a network that's just for people to have on in the background.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that is what CBS is. Correct. Last but not least, of course, or perhaps least, depending on how you look at it, Netflix. We watched 8 programs from Netflix this year. 1 tune-in. Horrible. It's what we call I think that's what they call in the Twitter space a ratio.
Sad.
Now, with all those statistics out of the way, it's time for us to decide. Let's start with the worst show of the year, because I think this is a harder pick, at least for me. Because a lot of the shows we watched this year were just plain boring.
Alright, well, let me consult the diagram here.
I think it's gotta be Caulk Gun.
Yeah, Cock Gun.
Coyote show?
Everyone's favorite show, Cock Gun. No, I don't think I'm gonna pick Coyote. But I'll go first. Sure, why not? I'll take a shot across the bow here. I think it's between 2 CBS shows, I think.
Okay.
It's either Clarice or Ghosts.
Okay, those are good picks.
And I think I'm gonna go with Clarice. Just because conceptually speaking, it's already a bad idea, and then they don't even justify making it a show.
Interesting. Kia, do you have one?
Now, you guys may have forgotten that we talked about the show already, but my eyes keep darting over to Mr. Mayor here.
Yeah, I was thinking about Mr. Mayor too.
You're not wrong. Mr. Mayor is a pretty bad one. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of harmless, I feel like.
That makes it worse.
Is it? I think it's fine to be a harmless show that you can just, like, put on because it's just a goofy, like, made by an AI show. It's not the worst.
But
then why is Ghost?
It would at least be interesting if it was made by an AI, but it wasn't. It's like people actually wrote this show, and it is just it's both boring and also painful to watch at the same time for me.
True. Okay, if we're staying in the NBC milieu here, I think there's actually a worse show, Young Rock.
No, I mean, Young Rock, it was kind of like, it was a little unfunny, but it at least kept my attention.
It didn't anger me like Mr. Mayor or Ghost did.
Ghost is very bad. This is true. I think Clarice just angered me on a very personal level.
Clarice was very upsetting. It was not a good program.
Does anyone remember what the plots of the 2 Mr. Mayor episodes we watched were about?
One, he smokes weed, and the other is he becomes the mayor. Well, the first is he becomes the mayor, and then the second one is he smokes weed. Or he doesn't even smoke weed, he eats an edible, I think.
Yeah, but that's like a B plot. There's like an A plot?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we can't even remember Mr. Mayor, but we do remember Ghost.
Might because we watched it more recently. But I guess also the whole thing with all the characters in the room at the same time.
There is a sleeper hit in here, I think. But I don't know if I don't know if I'm getting agreement here. The Serpent is pretty bad in terms of what it squanders.
I think we should go with The Serpent.
The Serpent should have been a really good show, and it was just like, let's just kind of make a sleepy show.
Yeah.
By the way, here's the completed diagram if it helps you guys. I think it'll help a lot.
You're right, Kieran. This helps a lot. You know what? Yeah. Clarice is painful for me, but the Serpent is... The Serpent is worse, right? Because Clarice is, this is a bad idea, and it turns out it's a bad show. The Serpent is, this could be interesting. No, it's bad.
This could be a very enthralling program, but actually what we're going to make is just like...
sleepy time.
Nothing.
I do want to nominate for your consideration Wheel of Time, just because Amazon has put so much money into it, marketing-wise. And then it's just an absolute nothing burger.
It is bad.
That's bad in its own way.
It's like half an hour of people like talking about like it's destiny and we're establishing our characters, and then it's like, and then it's like things attack, and it's like, oh wow, it's very violent.
The reason I wouldn't say no, or the reason I would say no for the Wheel of Time for me, is because there's at least like there's like mild potential there for it to be like, it's not all just like bad. I think,
but we didn't see any. Well, there's potential, I guess, but we have no idea.
Right? Yeah.
And we didn't see anything good.
I think I'm gonna give it to the Serpent. I think I've changed. Keo our discussion here has changed my mind. I think for me, I'm locking it in as the Serpent.
Yeah, I think Serpent's the one I would want to watch the least.
Okay, well, I don't have to even say anything now because that's a 2/3 majority.
But you can make a dissenting opinion, like a Supreme Court justice, Keo.
Okay. Ooh, I'm like a judge. I'm like making calls and saying things that don't matter.
You're the Clarence Thomas of TV tuners now, Keo.
That's right.
Wow. I'm just gonna. I'll say Clarice right here.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Thinking back to it, I am upset by it a lot.
Yeah, it's a bad idea that it manages to still be really bad. Yeah.
It's a bad idea that they managed to make worse than the idea was, because, I mean, outside of not being able to get Hannibal, it could have been fine.
Right. Yeah. It really is, like, upsetting to me, but I think I gotta go with the Serpent. There you go, everybody. Yeah. 2021's worst show of the year, according to TV tuners. The Serpent.
I don't know. They're all stinkers. That's
right.
The real takeaway here.
Well, not all stinkers. We've still got to discuss 2020's best of the 7 that we tuned in on, of which some were very mild tune-ins. What is the best? I feel like I already know.
Counterattack.
Wrong. I feel like I already know what I'm picking for best, but I want to hear what you guys think.
Okay, besides the obvious Charles Counterattack, which was objectively the best thing we watched on this program this entire year.
Sure, not from 2021, though.
Close enough.
I'm going to lock in an Invincible here, just right off the bat. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Invincible? What else was there?
Oh, well, if you need to make a deciding factor here, because I think what's going to end up happening is it's going to be Stare making a final choose. Because I'm going to lock in Squid Game.
Oh yeah. Huh.
I think I haven't watched Invincible, but I could see it winning 2021 best of. The reason I'm picking Squid Game is because I think it speaks to the moment of 2021 very well for me. Also, it's very well done. It's pulpy in a way that it needs to be. It's got elements of like a soap opera to it, but it all manages to coalesce into a nice sort of theme about how, hey, capitalism sucks.
I think finding out your dad is a murderous colonialist is sort of also pertinent to the current moment. I think Squid Game is hurt by the fact it came out all at once, while Invincible is week to week, so you could follow along.
You know,
reacted to that.
I'll say it right here. Shows are better when you do that.
Agreed. Actually,
it's undeniable based on my personal experience that when you have to wait for a show and think about it between episodes, it's better.
Okay, so that's why I gotta go with Kevin can fuck himself.
oh God, stare.
It was a good show.
All right.
No, I'll just vote Invincible along with Keo. I don't like that at all.
Sure. All right. Well, there you go. Stairmaster went through a long, belabored process to make sure that we got to the end result anyway. Kind of a perfect encapsulation of 2021. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. 2021 Best TV Tuner Show of the Year, Invincible.
Yay.
The process works. And that'll about do it for this week's episode of the show.
I gotta add a crown to Invincible now for the diagram final version.
Yeah, what are you gonna add to the serpent?
I'll add some stink lines.
Yeah.
Oh, should I post the one without the crown to Twitter and then post the one with the crown after, or are we cool on spoilies?
Okay, yeah, post the crown one like after.
Probably.
Here's the crown version.
And that'll about do it.
If people can even discern the crown from the picture, honestly.
That'll about do it for this week's episode of the show. We'll be back next year with more TV goodness. Until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
I found him.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuner Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster owns CBS?
It's true. I planned it all to increase your suffering.